Going on, hardcores and casuals? Ryu coming at you another review. This time, Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. As you can see, this is the international edition, or one of them. This is 1-for-1 to the American copy. Difference was I didn't get screwed over on eBay. Price for this ranges anywhere from $20 if you're lucky, all the way to $60. Your happy price is probably going to be $40 new if you get the international, $35 if you really look. Now, right out the door, I'm going to tell you this is a good game. This is way better than I thought it would be. Don't be fooled by the art just because some people are kind of selective about their Zelda art. Really serious or cartoonish. It's always kind of the debate. To be honest with you, the cover, I don't like the cover. The reasons why is because I'd like it if it was gold foil with some rivets, like little bumpies, kind of like the cartridges from Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. The Japanese version of this is actually colored in with some really nice blues and greens. You can Google that for yourself. But I kind of think we got the short end. A lot of people still like this cover from people's opinions I've heard over the years. But I just wish it was a little more pop to it, not just so flat, if you will. This isn't just the international. The American version is just about identical, with the exception of the Japanese. Right? Just for the sake of showing you, yeah, nothing. Manuals have been extinct, and now you got to pay a premium for manuals, which is bullshit. Premium meaning either have them self-made or, limited edition comes with a manual. But all us 90 kids and 2000 kids are kind of like, they used to come with manuals, Why am I paying more? Anyway, so on to the review. So this is a good game. This is a 9 out of 10 for me, just to jump ahead. The thing that will surprise you the most in this game, in my opinion, is the music. The music is beautiful. I'm going to tell you right now, if you like Zelda music, this is a game for you. All sorts of tweaked remixes, some brand new music as well. There's a lot of throwbacks to Link to the Past, which I think is a good thing and a bad thing. I think it's good for those, who like that game and nostalgia feeling. Zelda, it's not the first game to use a previous Zelda as a template, to write or do something creative. But that's the thing about creativity, right? Original, it's like reinventing the wheel versus creating the wheel. I do wish this was a little more of an original game. But that being said, I know some people will be mad because it is pretty original. But the template clearly is A Link to the Past. And I'm a little confused when you do some research about the creation of this game. Everyone says it's a sequel, but then they'll say it's a remake. Then they'll say it's a sequel, then it's a remake. And it's one of those Mad TV things, and what the fuck is it then, right? Well, the bottom line, it is a sequel. If you look up all your information, about 500 years in the future of Link to the Past in the Link Falls timeline. None of these are spoilers, by the way. But to keep saying it's not a sequel and a remake is a bit misleading, and I think you should tell consumers the truth. This is how it is, because some people are very, they get butthurt about their Zelda timeline, and I get it, and it's not their fault. It's the creator's fault, if you will. People like legitimate lore and good storytelling. Now, on that, again, you're going to see a lot of remnants to Link to the Past, but this has a lot of original taste. The ending on this, which I will not spoil, was really good. I really enjoyed the ending on that. Again, if you're wondering why I'm running in circles and running around, it's because I don't want to spoil this game. Any kind of great game should not be spoiled. I really encourage people to if you see anything about this you like, to go out and try this, download it, find it. Even if you got to bootleg it, do what you got to do, man. This is definitely a very, I wouldn't say lenient Zelda, but this is a very manageable Zelda. This is a Zelda that for those who've played other Zeldas, this is definitely an easier Zelda. You get a lot of tools, a lot of help, but also the help is, you don't have to take the help if you don't want to. You can play this game. The puzzles aren't going to break your mind unless it's your first Zelda, to be fair, because most people's first Zeldas suck. But this definitely gives you all the tools to succeed without having to look at a guide as much. Now, like items, I did look up some of the item placements with a guide, but that's when I had, either short on time or I really didn't have my thumb up my ass. I didn't know what I was doing. But again, this is a very good game. It's very hard to dock on this. The only thing I could say bad that kept me from giving this a 10 was, one, it did feel like Link to the Past a little bit too much in certain areas, and I did want something a little more. The ending was great. That's not a doc, sorry, I'm just reminding myself. But the controls, so you can't use the D-pad. D-pad just does this for you. But when you use the analog, sometimes if you're not paying attention to where your thumb placement is, you'll go off an angle. And that doesn't seem as bad until you're trying to strike something. So say you're trying to strike this way, but you end up striking this way by accident and you get hit. So sometimes that can cost you in some key critical moments. It's never that bad, but you keep fucking around like that, you'll end up dead. And that gets frustrating for some people over time. It was for me a couple times, but I only died once. Fairies, there are 5 bottles in this game. God, that's the most bottle I've ever seen in a Zelda game without cheating. And again, this game is really good, man. Again, the only thing I dock maybe is a little bit of the controls. The art style's hit or miss. I do like the art style, but I just wanted something slightly different. I just wanted to get away from Link to the Past and try to get something original, kind of like how Breath of the Wild is original compared to Ocarina of Time. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that extreme, but I was really pushing for that. And that just, again, it's just an opinion. This is definitely a must-buy for Zelda fans or any fans of puzzle games with, I want to say light story, but most Zelda games aren't like heavy, rich story. It's more like lore. You know what I mean? But if I was to say one thing, the ending alone is worth this game. If you like Zelda, the ending alone was worth it. I really appreciated the nice dialogue and those romanticisms of power novels about a knight saving the world type of thing. This is pretty much what that is, really. And yeah, it's good stuff. The mini games are decent. They're fun. You won't be hanging around them probably too much. Again, the music is great. I don't think there was one time I got bored of the music. You know what I mean? The overworld theme changes from time to time depending on your upgrades and depending on story sways, which is a nice plus, so you're not hearing the same thing over and over. The dungeons, like I said, are pretty easy. I will spoil one thing, and I do this to help Zelda fans and those who struggle with puzzles. The ice dungeon, okay? The ice dungeon. Use the warp point. If you go in circles and you don't know where you are, you got to use the warp point. Part of the puzzle of the stage, that part of the stage is moving to help you solve other parts of the stage, but it doesn't reset. It's not supposed to reset. Please hear me. If you're in the ice dungeon and you're having trouble, use the warp point to continue through the puzzle. Now, usually the warp point is what you would call like a shortcut, and it's more like if you want to. That's dungeon you kind of have to, especially if you're resetting or you're going out of the dungeon or have to do something else. Okay, guys, I'm just trying to help y'all out. Again, games are about enjoying and not so much about frustration. That doesn't mean we can't like a challenge, but we're here to help each other, man. But anyway, yeah, like I said, Zelda, Link Between Worlds, play it if you love Zelda. This is a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. God bless. This is a really special game. I probably will be trying to hunt down the soundtrack to this. This is amazing, and it just proves that Nintendo, if they just pushed a little more of this towards original, I can just imagine something even more amazing. I would really like a Link Between Worlds sequel, but just something original. But anyway, thank you guys. Y'all be safe and God bless.